You are listening to the Overthinker's Guide to Joy, episode 52. This is the one where we're going to talk about making yourself a priority. Let's dive in. This is a podcast for overthinkers, overdoers, and overachievers who are tired of feeling overanxious and just want to feel better. I'm your host, certified life coach, Jackie Dukrenis. Hi there, and welcome back. So last week, I was talking about learning to celebrate yourself. Whether it was your birthday and you decided to order the dessert, eat the cake, throw yourself a party, or just let people know it was your birthday and celebrate yourself all month, that was one aspect of celebrating yourself. But it wasn't just an episode about birthday celebrations. It was also about celebrating your wins. It was the reminder to practice taking a moment and honoring whatever good comes your way. Whether that's finding, a quarter on the sidewalk, or maybe no line at the checkout stand at the grocery store, or a great parking spot, or even a promotion. But taking time to celebrate yourself. Whether you chalk it up to good luck, or your hard work, or good timing, or just opportunities, it's important to acknowledge the good stuff and your connection to the good stuff. And it's very similar to gratitude. The more you have, the more good things you attract. It's energetic, it's magnetic, and it's why it continues to attract more of it. But today I want to talk to you about something that's in a similar vein, but yet different. And that's about making yourself a priority. I'm always amazed how many of us, and I'm included in this list, put ourselves on the back burner. So many of us are so good at prioritizing their work, their spouses, their kids, their extended family or friends, but they seem to run out of time when it comes to meeting their own needs. And what happens is when we do this, it becomes a habit. It's like we want to make sure that everyone else is clothed and fed and driven and happy and safe and getting all their needs and wants and desires met. And then the thought is, well, if I have time, I'll feed myself, I'll get some rest, and maybe I'll practice some self-care. But we actually have it backwards. The truth is that by the time you've done everything for everyone else, you're probably too exhausted to bother caring for yourself. This is when we're most likely to turn to artificial stimulants or depressants to numb the feeling of fatigue or exhaustion. And it's things like, intaking too much caffeine or alcohol or junk food or watching mindless TV, because we've simply run out of time and energy to take proper self-care of ourselves. And like everything, that becomes a pattern too. We just don't have the energy to get exercise or work on something fun or creative or spend time alone to figure out even what we want or need when we're so busy taking care of everybody else around us. So this is something I hear a lot in my client sessions. Whether it's the overworked executive who's always trying to please their boss or their clients, or it's the working mom or dad who spends most of their energy when they're not at work, shuttling kids to and from activities, planning meals, running errands, or it's the person who's planning activities, parties, volunteering for everybody else. It's because we become addicted to being needed. We become reliant on people pleasing. And we become uncomfortable in our own silence or even our own pleasure. Like it actually feels awkward for so many of my clients to just sit and do something pleasurable for themselves, whether that's reading a book or taking a walk alone or just spending time alone in their car. They feel like it has to have purpose, like they have to be commuting to work or they have to be at a business lunch or dinner or drinks, but they just don't feel like it's okay to just give themselves permission to make themselves a priority. Clients will often say, I feel guilty taking time by myself, because I already spend so much time working away from my family. Or I feel guilty about spending time away from my partner because they don't have the same need to be alone or with other friends. Or sometimes it's, I feel guilty about spending money on myself or doing something nice for myself. And the list goes on. We just develop these habits of putting ourselves last because somewhere in our life, we were told that self-care is selfish. Probably there was somebody in our life who made us feel guilty for taking care of ourselves or spending time alone or money on things we wanted or needed. So we just learned to do without. We just started this pattern of becoming givers instead of takers. And like I've said before, I'm not suggesting that you become a selfish narcissist, nor am I saying that you need a designer handbag in lieu of your child getting braces or saving for a college fund. It's not about becoming self-centered. I'm just talking about adding yourself, including yourself on the list of priorities. In the same way that you would your boss, your romantic partner, your best friend, your kid, your dog, your cat, whatever. So why is this so important? So what are the dangers of not making yourself a priority? Well, one thing is burnout, whether it's work burnout or home burnout. If you become burned out, your ecosystem kind of falls apart because then there's no one to take care of it and no one has learned how to take care of you. So you're kind of all alone in your burnout and the balls just kind of drop. The other is resentment. Although many people are addicted to always giving, helping, and doing for others, there's a part of them that hopes there will be some reciprocation someday. There's a secret hope that someone will take note of their endless generosity, whether it's their time or money or emotional capacity. The other is short-fused. Eventually, we all get tired. Whether we get tired from not prioritizing our own rest or nutrition or mental break, eventually the situation, that is ourselves, begins to short-circuit. This leads to a short fuse and a quick temper, and nobody likes to be around that. And the other thing is identity crisis. For those people who have spent their lifetime people-pleasing, especially in the workplace or at home, when the job ends or the children grow up or if the marriage should come to an end, the person who has spent their life caring for others has an identity crisis. They don't know what they even like or want because they were always so focused on what others wanted and needed. Okay. So we've talked about the negative impacts of putting yourself last or not prioritizing yourself. What are the benefits to making yourself a priority? Well, the first thing is when you learn how to meet your own needs, you will stop relying on others to make you happy. In other words, even if it's unconscious, you won't be doing this quid pro quo. If only I do this, then somebody will eventually do something for me. Now, that may not be a conscious thought, but like I said, that's where the resentment comes in. I do so much for others, nobody does for me. But if you do for yourself, you won't be disappointed. You won't be worrying about, is anyone helping me? You'll learn to make yourself happy. The second, when you make yourself a priority, you're showing others that you're a priority. And they'll start making you one too. It's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. So showing up and having boundaries, making yourself a priority, that's going to teach others how to prioritize you too. The third one is when you're happy, or at least taken care of, that is, you're fed, rested, exercised, and have met your own needs, you are so much better equipped to handle stress, problem solving, and meet the needs of others. It's like the old expression, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And the fourth one is when you make yourself a priority, you're not robbing your children of their time with you. You're role modeling for them. You're showing them the importance of prioritizing yourself. This is such an important lesson to teach children because this is who you want them to be as grown-ups. So the next time you, quote, feel guilty about taking time for yourself or doing things that bring you joy or practicing daily self-care, I invite you to think about how you're actually helping the people you care the most about. Because when you show up for yourself, identify what you need, what you want, what you like, you show up differently in the world. You arrive at work or running errands or in the carpool line or the soccer matches or whatever is going on for you with more energy, more presence, and more joy. And that's a benefit to everyone who interacts with you. You're actually making the world a better place by adding yourself to your list of priorities. So I invite you to start doing for yourself each day in the same way you would for a loved one and for your community. Just take the time and practice that self-care. Make sure you're getting your needs met too, because everyone is going to be happier. It's a win-win. All right, friends, I will talk to you next time. I wish you a great week, and bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Overthinker's Guide to Joy. If you're enjoying these episodes, please subscribe or follow this podcast so you can always be in the know when the next episode drops. If you would like to learn more about working with me as a coach, you can connect with me through my website at jackiedecrenis.com. That's JACKIEDECRINIS.com.